Welcome back to the channel, Panda Pals. Guess what? It is finally here. We are at the tell-all for season 11 of 90 Day Fiance. Now, I don't really know if I'm this excited because it's the tell-all or because this means the season is finally fucking over. Because this season was so boring. Anyway, this tell-all is part 1 of 2, so buckle it up, cuties, and let's get this show started. Shekinah rolls in, she is alone, and she is not happy.
Today sucks. I feel like everything changed once we got married, and we're not good.
Stevi comes in next with Mahdi, and she is also not happy.
I'm tired of these questions about my sexuality. I'm starting to feel a little bit aggravated. If he decides he wants to walk out of the relationship, that is a choice that he'll make.
Mahdi is... Well, I'm pretty sure Mahdi's also not happy, but he's doing his best to pretend like he is happy, because if he doesn't, Stevi's gonna yell at him.
We both cannot escape these problems. But also, whenever I feel like I'm gonna say something that Stevie is gonna be mad, I try not to bring it up.
Joan struts in next with Greg looking like Gus Gus behind her, carrying all of their crap, and she's still saying shit like, I asked for a husband, not a child.
He tries to be a good husband, but I feel like he needs to grow up.
Sarper comes in, he is a super sad boy because he's all alone, and he tells us that he wishes him and Shekinah never got married.
It wasn't K1 thing, this decision to get married, but if we had no obligation like this, we wouldn't be married, and we would be happier.
This confuses me, how some people say marriage changed everything for them, because I can understand a dynamic shift happening between going from friends to romantic partners, because yeah, there are going to be different expectations. But from committed partners to committed partners who are married, do the expectations change that much? Like, please let me know what you guys think, because I am not married and I'm very curious.
Team Sarper, bro. Team Sarper, bro. Sarper's my boy. You know, I'm ready to back him. I'll go to war for that mother, man. Seriously.
So apparently I missed a memo, and Sarper and Greg are besties.
Yeah.
You are so cute, but you are sweating too much.
Or at least Sarper is Greg's bestie. I do not know if the feeling is reciprocated.
You notice these, or?
Yeah.
So I gotta figure out this situation before it gets worse.
And yeah, Gregory is sweating so much that he actually leaves to go to the dressing room so that he can blow dry his pits.
Cool as a cucumber.
Aaliyah and Sean walk in next, and Sean is like, you know what? A lot has changed in our relationship. Do I tell everybody the truth or do I hide it? And like, buddy, you hid your whole ass relationship from all of your friends and your children. Do whatever the fuck you want with these strangers on stage. Juan and Jessica come in later, and he says that he saw some cruise ships on his way in, and he's honestly probably got an escape plan already mapped out.
I did see some cruise ships. I might run away and get on one of those boats and just get back to work.
Stevi and Shekinah sit down and get to gabbing with each other, and they actually have a very good rapport, which surprised me because I thought Shekinah would not be interested in talking to her at all. But Shekinah is like, oh my god, girl, let me tell you the tea. And she tells her that Amani apparently DM'd her on Instagram to basically say that she was coming for her ass at this tell-all.
She's like, I actually really love you, but I'm sorry in advance for everything I'm gonna say to you.
Which, for a lady who boasts about being the classiest bitch at the party, that is some bitter hag behavior. Mina and Mark come in and they seem fine, nothing really happens. Then Amani and Matt walk into the room and the producers are like, Amani, you look different.
I did a couple of surgeries. I felt the pressure to fit into this box that society created. I got a BBL, I've gotten a nose job.
So I have not really looked into it that much, but I do know that Amani was or is still doing a series where she's trying to be very transparent about the surgeries that she's had, and she talks about how she regrets them because she got all of this work done and she's still not happy with herself. And yeah, I'm sure a ton of people get work done due to societal pressures of fitting in and wanting to be seen as quote unquote beautiful. But for some reason, when it comes out of Amani's mouth, it's just very difficult for me to think that's anything other than horseshit. Because to me, there's something so disingenuous about that woman. Anyway, Amani is nervous as hell, but she does say that she is going to clap back hard at anybody who steps to her. And Matt is like, if you're out there and you're considering a throuple, might I suggest driving over a cliff instead?
I mean, I just personally, it's really hard to work out a throuple. So, you know, I don't highly recommend it. The juggle's real.
Shekinah and Amani meet face to face, and it's super awkward.
We know you and Shekinah have had some tension
I know you don't want to talk to me for some reason. I don't know why. So, yeah, bring it.
And Amani is like, I don't know why Shekinah is being such a bitch, okay? I tried to do the right thing and tell her ahead of time that I was going to be super condescending to her face at the tell-all, and for some reason, she did not take that well.
I tried to proactively reach out to her to try to build, friendship. And she's always one word with me, so brief.
Everyone heads on stage and the tell-all begins. Let's do a little round robin. John and Greg are fine. That's all we get. Stevi and Mahdi, since they expedited their marriage, Mahdi already has his green card and the man is already working. Can we get some claps for him? Shekinah got some more work done on her face to look more natural, and that's great, but her marriage is in shambles.
We actually didn't even have a honeymoon. And I still only have an engagement ring. So are we really married?
I mean, yes, you are still married, but I do understand what she's trying to say. She wants Sarper to put in more effort into the marriage. Anyway, Amani must have been busy training Matt up because this man jumps in for absolutely no reason. And he's like, when I married my amazing wife, I gave her the cheapest ring, and I'm so lucky to be married to my amazing wife.
When my wife married me, I put a stainless steel band around her finger. And I mean, I'm privileged to be next to her today.
Again, it feels so disingenuous. And that's not the vibe that I normally get from Matt, but when he said this, it just felt so, like, what is the word? Performative. Also, let's be so fucking for real right now. You probably only put a stainless steel band on her finger because your wife does not trust you with any of the money. How are you gonna buy shit with your wallet full of nothing? Mark and Mina have actually moved out to Boston because remember, Mark promised he would change her living situation within 6 months' time if she did not like New Hampshire. And I guess the man keeps his promises, which is very refreshing. Amani, Matt, and Ani. Amani is 6 weeks post-op, and she not only did a BBL and a nose job, but she also did something called a temporal lift, a mini tummy tuck, and she got a little bit of lipo. Ani is like, bitch is crazy. And Amani somehow takes this as an opportunity to shit all over Shekinah.
She's crazy because she make all in the same time.
Unlike Shekinah, it's not necessarily something I'm proud of.
And Shekinah's like, okay, so you did it for the wrong reasons. I did it to change something I didn't like about myself. And you changed it so that you could look more like whatever the people around you wanted you to look like.
I wanted to change certain things that bothered me, and you wanted to fit society's standards.
And listen, I like Shekinah. I'm starting to like her a little less. But girly, Sarper designed your nose. You literally let a person around you choose what you looked like. And if we're being real, what you consider to be beautiful is constructed by society, the media you consume, the people around you. Like, I don't know what point you're trying to make, but you're not making it.
I feel like I don't look like me anymore.
But you didn't want to look like yourself. That's why you got the surgery.
I don't want to lose who I am and not look like myself.
Then what was the point of getting surgery?
Sean is like, oh, whoa, okay, you two girls seem to already have a ton of history. What is going on? And then Shekinah tells us that Amani reached out to her. They started talking about plastic surgery, and then suddenly Amani sent that message saying that I'ma roast you at the tell-all.
I thought that that was very calculated because for you to premeditate kind of like to be mean to me was low.
Amani hits back by saying the most untrue thing on the face of this planet.
I'm a girl's girl, and I respect my cast members so much.
If Amani is a girl's girl, then I am a male porn star with a massive schlong. Amani is like, I was trying to be nice and tell her I was gonna be a bitch so she could come prepared.
I tried to give her a heads up. She's just so thirsty for like screen time.
Oh my God.
I tried.
Listen, do I think Shekinah and Sarper do a ton of shit for the gram? Absolutely. But do not sit there and act like you do not do the same thing, miss. I'ma give away some money because I just have so much of it and I am such a kind, magnanimous soul, but you need to like, follow, and tag 3 friends on this post.
I don't even want to get catty with women.
You wanted to start and you did.
You.
Sean and Aaliyah say that on a scale of 1 to 10, they are at an 8, which is a fucking lie.
We live in peace because we're not fighting.
But
We're not really having sex anymore.
Now, sex is not important to everybody, and that is fine, but it is very important for these two, so yeah, y'all are not at an 8. Get the fuck out of here. Juan and Jessica. Jessica still is not fluent in Spanish, and normally I would be like, wow, if you loved him, you would find the time because it's important to him. But I then remember she already has 3 kids and now a husband who is basically a giant man baby.
It is still very much a goal of mine.
Why does it matter? He speaks English. Who cares?
Ma'am! Because it's important to him. Like, listen, I get it, Juan sucks, but just because your partner knows your language does not mean that you shouldn't make any effort to learn theirs, especially if it's important to them. Like, what? What an absolute shit take. Like, you don't want to be able to have a substantial conversation with Sarper's family, with his parents? Like, you don't want to get to know his culture? That's really sad.
I would love if my wife can talk to my family.
sometimes it is better not to talk with the family, believe me.
Round robin is done. Let's get a little more up close and personal with Sarper and Shekinah. We revisit their bedroom wedding, and then Shekinah starts to cry.
Just everything changed after we got married. And that was my biggest fear, and it just came true.
She says that she had a really difficult time seeing the house as theirs because it still felt very much like her own place. And then she's like, Sarper sank into a deep depression, and that manifested through unchecked anger and aggressive behavior aimed towards me. And then Sarper does admit that he regrets getting married, and when I tell you that it is for the dumbest reason,
Because it's brought a lot of new responsibilities and duties to my life. Take the dog out, take the garbage out, drive me here, Sarper, carry this
Welcome
Sarper,
to
fix that
life.
Sarper.
And I get that acts of service is not everybody's love language, but buddy, you gotta bring something to the table other than muscles and a terrible stand-up routine. Despite the two of them coming to the tell-all separately, apparently their sex life is great and completely unchanged.
How is sex between the two of you today?
Usually that's the best part.
She loves it.
Oh, shut up.
I'm good at it.
Oh, yeah, you better be. You have had multiple lifetimes worth of practice. We then welcome Sarper's biggest fan onto the stage, Dan. He comes onto the stage, and the first thing he says is, your wedding was cheap.
That was cheap.
Oh.
Why doing a bedding? Like, I don't understand that.
We don't have a castle.
You don't need a castle, but you can do better.
I honestly thought that their wedding was very on brand for them, so I loved it. Now, Dan is a little salty because Shekinah kind of brushed him off for his birthday.
You didn't even send me a text, like...
I did.
No, I had to text you first, then you text me back.
He's like, girlie, we are really good friends, and you didn't even offer to, take me out for a meal.
You didn't even, say, oh, let's go for a lunch. Let me take you for dinner.
I'm married now.
Let's
I
spend time
can't just go
together.
to lunch with you.
And then we are graced with another beautiful Sarperism.
When there are no horses left in the ranch, a donkey sees himself as the unicorn.
And if that is not a sick-ass burn, I do not know what is. So everyone takes a break, and Shekinah goes to cry backstage. And Sarper sits next to her. He doesn't really comfort her beyond giving her a tissue for her issues. And that makes Shekinah really mad. And she's like, you are awful. You have no compassion. Which makes Sarper mad. And he's like, I told you who I am. I am an asshole. So if you are unhappy, then that is a you problem.
You will lose me just because of you, and you will regret like a dog.
You call me a dog?
So I did actually look up what this meant, and Sarper's trying to say that Shekinah is going to regret losing him so badly that she is going to come like a pathetic little dog with her tail in between her legs and beg him to come back. Matt is like, damn, Shekinah and Sarper are really arguing, aren't they? And buddy, pointing out the flaws of their relationship will not erase the ones that are present in yours. Everyone gets back on stage, and we get to move on to Stevi and Mahdi. Mahdi has been working as a personal trainer, and yeah, Stevi is a-okay with him training girls.
Do you have female clients?
Yes.
I send them his way.
We then welcome Vanessa on stage because she not only watched all of their segments on Pillow Talk, but she's also dating a Persian man right now who has been giving her a ton of insight into Mahdi's perspective.
What did you think when Stevi suggested Mahdi call his family less?
Dating a Persian man 101. Do not come between a Persian man and his mama.
Veronica is like, girly, his mama will always win, which I don't super love, but I don't really care enough about it to get into it. We welcome Saeed onto the stage, and the first thing that he says is, I'm happy the two of them seem to be doing okay, but I know Mahdi could be happier with someone else.
He has a lot of potentials. All that potentials will be unleashed if you are next to someone who give you support.
So Saeed's argument is basically that Stevi is not being the most supportive wife because it's already been a year since Mahdi came to America, and the only thing he's done is become a personal trainer.
After a year, what is he doing? I mean, who is gonna pay for a personal trainer in Mississippi?
Ow, dude. Way to shit all over your friend's livelihood. Saeed then tells us that a few months ago, he told Mahdi to come move in with him in California so that he can try to make a life out there because California has more diversity and more opportunity. And I'm pretty sure he told him to come alone. And Stevi is like, I'm sorry, Saeed said go to California without me, and you A, never told me about this conversation, and B, decided to keep him as your friend afterwards?
Mahdi has taken every risk to leave everything behind. And guess what is the biggest risk Stevi has made? Crossing that bridge to pick him up from the airport.
Stevi is like, you have no idea what I have sacrificed. And honestly, I do kind of wish that Stevi would articulate what kinds of sacrifices she has made, because other than the bridge crossing, like what, she paints 2 less boob portraits a month? Like, I don't know. Girlie, throw us a bone.
If you knew how I do not allow people to get close to me, you would know that I sacrificed everything because I could have gotten more than broken.
Okay, girl. Take the bone back. That is a bad bone. I honestly think that her painting 2 less booby pictures a month would have been a bigger deal than saying I sacrificed everything when I opened up my heart to him. Could you imagine leaving your job, your friends, your family, your entire life as you know it, having to start over in a foreign country in a place where, let's be honest, you are going to be met with ignorance and a lot of intolerance because of the color of your skin and your country of origin, and your partner thinks that they sacrificed just as much as you because they gave you the privilege of loving them.
I pay my bills. I don't have to have Mahdi to survive. I chose to have Mahdi here because I wanted to be with him.
Stevi is like, Mahdi, say something, defend me. And Mahdi is like, okay, yeah, Stevi sacrificed a lot, like so much.
In the first weeks and months that I was here, she has done a lot. She has helped me a lot.
But again, he doesn't say anything specific, so I kind of question the validity of that statement. Like, buddy, throw us a bone. Preferably a better one than the one that she gave us. Then, of course, we gotta talk about Stevi's sexuality and how she refuses to give Mahdi a straight answer, pun entirely intended. And Stevie's like, would it be very easy to tell him, no, I don't like girls? Would it clear up a whole lot of things? Absolutely. But I shouldn't have to answer that question, so I'm not gonna.
I'm not sorry for that.
Do you not want to put a label on your sexuality?
Yeah, because there is no label.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no label.
Girlie, there is a label for anything and everything nowadays, okay? You got hetero, homo, bi, demi, ace, pan. We can go deeper into the rabbit hole if you want, because we got gray, scolio, andro, gyno. That's one I didn't know until I met Lauren. Anyway, we have a lot. Take your pick.
I feel like she's into girls because she never gives a direct answer.
I think I'm into souls and personalities more than their body.
Okay, so on one hand, that means she's pansexual, which is great, totally fine. But on the other hand, Mahdi and everybody else currently questioning her sexuality, that is an answer. I'm into souls more than their bodies is an answer, okay? Girlie likes whatever she vibes with, so we can finally move on.
Have you ever kissed a woman?
Ooh. I'm not gonna answer it. I don't kiss and tell, so.
Honestly, she doesn't have to answer that question for us to really know the answer. Even if she has never kissed a girl, we now know that she would be okay with it if she fell in love with a person she vibed with who happened to be a girl.
But you also don't think that he deserves to have a straight answer.
I don't owe him anything about my sexuality.
You owe him honesty.
That is facts, though. I mean, she does not owe us anything. We don't owe her. But she does owe her husband honesty.
I don't think he gave her the safe space for her to feel comfortable. I already made a big deal about it and even said, I'm not going to get married if you are bisexual.
That is also facts. I do hate that I am agreeing with the many, but that is true.
If you found out, would it change anything now?
I can't answer that.
Oh, whoa. Now, see, that's a big deal.
Wow.
Ooh, I guess this is Stevi getting a taste of her own medicine. Anyway, that is the end of their segment. Stevi must be so relieved that that was the worst of it for her. Everyone breaks for lunch, and Amani is like, Jessica, so you've kissed other women, like, romantically? And like, girlie, are you scouting for another girlfriend? We then move on to Greg and Joan, and yes, they are still living with Lucille.
Joan, how do you feel about that?
Very sad. I want to move out immediately.
We then get to welcome somebody who also pursued love while living with his mommy. Say hello to Big Ed. Yay. He offers what little wisdom he has in his brain, and he's like, living with your mom sucks. So, Joan, give Greg an ultimatum. You have 90 days to get us out of this house.
Because I don't think it's fair to you or to his mom.
That's bull.
I know that sounds kind of harsh, but...
No. I'm just kidding.
That was a good one.
Greg 1000% agrees with Big Ed, which I'm sure is a very unfamiliar feeling for Ed. Lucille comes on stage, and we get to revisit that time where Joan was like, ma'am, you're always in your house. Maybe you could leave more.
I just couldn't believe that you had the nerve.
When I came to the house, she was there like all day.
That's her house.
Ed came to this tell-all with a little more wisdom than I expected. He tells Greg that he's kind of being unfair to Joan and Lucille because he brought the both of them into the situation, and now they both have to be the ones to deal with the repercussions, and he is fine. Nothing really changed for him.
Bless your heart, Colt. I mean, I'm Greg. You know.
Wow, that's a...
No, I'm sorry, but...
So, Greg lives in Long Island, super expensive place. He lives with his mother, who pays all of his bills. He did get a job, which is good for him, but I do think I saw he makes a little over $30,000 a year, which for a place like Long Island is not going to go anywhere. And these two fucking goobers have been actively trying for a baby.
Does that mean that you two are not using protection now?
No, why?
Greg is like, people in our culture don't really approve of contraceptives. And Joan is like, excuse me, yes we do. I just don't see a reason for them because we are married. And baby girl, put a fucking condom on his pecker. You are actively complaining about not having enough money to move out of his mother's house. And don't you dare tell me that this baby is going to act as leverage to make Greg finally be the man that you need him to be, because A, that is not fair to the baby, and B, that is not fair to his mother, who will have to suffer the consequences of your selfishness.
I really don't want to start all over again in the house, raising children again.
But nothing's going to stop me from trying to get a child.
So disrespectful.
Shekinah is like, dude, you are being so selfish right now. And Joan is like, no. No one gets to decide whether I have a kid or not.
You're living in her house.
I'm not using protection because you're married.
And your
by
response
the time
was
I
that
get
you'll get
pregnant, I'll be out of the house.
Oh, Gregory, throw Girlie back in the pond because she's being a silly goose.
We're hoping if there's a baby that's going to push him to get out of the house. But what if it doesn't?
I know you're going to move out of the house. I trust him, so I know.
Lucille tells us that she actually showed Greg a couple of options for trailer park homes because that was within their budget and they could get out of the house sooner. And Greg is like, yeah, that was a great idea and, it would have worked. But then we started to see like nicer places, condos, co-ops, and basically he wants to live at his mother's house for a little bit longer so that he can save up more money for one of those places.
If you want privacy, you start wherever you can start.
normally I would say, sure, stay at your parents' house a little bit longer to save up for a nicer place, but you're in your 30s, you have a wife, that wife is always complaining about wanting to move out of your mother's house, and she's actively trying to have a baby with you. And you're okay with that happening. We move on to Matt, Amani, and Ani. They are still a throuple. They have had many vacations together as a big happy family. And Ani is like, girly is absolutely crazy, but I love her. Sean is like, so why did you guys decide to even open up your marriage in the first place?
It was very much a goal of mine to give Amani a dream gay lifestyle.
Sarper's like, baby boy, you are hypnotized, okay? You say whatever Amani wants you to say and do whatever Amani wants you to do.
What do you mean hypnotized? Because I want her to be happy?
So it sounds like Ani and Matt no longer have to ask Amani for permission to bang each other. So the two of them have been banging all the time. And apparently Amani and Ani have not banged without Matt ever. And Amani says that it has not happened because it honestly feels like Ani is more into men than women.
They have sex without me a lot.
Yeah.
Me and her still haven't had sex, just me and her.
So I don't really know how this arrangement translates to Matt giving Amani her dream gay lifestyle.
He's been going to see Ani, and I can't go because of my job. I can't be a mom and a business owner and also have sex. I just can't do it all.
Ani says the only reason it looks like her and Matt are dating is because Amani has zero free time, which makes sense because she has a history of doing everything herself, because she cannot delegate, because she does not trust anyone, because she does not think that anyone can do anything right.
What do you think about the way Amani looks now after the plastic surgery?
Matt says she looked gorgeous before, she looks gorgeous now. Amani is like, I only got these surgeries because the two of them kept criticizing me and calling me ugly.
You and Ani did say that I didn't have an ass, I didn't look attractive.
We were concerned about her because she was not healthy anymore.
So apparently they were like, babes, we are a little worried because you have lost a lot of weight. So Amani was like, oh, wow. So you're calling me ugly? You're telling me that I don't have a big, bodacious ass? And that's why she went and got all those surgeries.
They said like I didn't look attractive as I used to, and
That never got mentioned.
you both said that I lost my ass.
That's what you presumed.
Ani says that she supports Amani's decision, but she does think that having 5 surgeries all at the same time is a little much, and Matt also agrees. And again, Amani takes this opportunity to throw jabs at Shekinah.
Plastic surgery, you're gonna get it and then you're gonna find more flaws. And that's how you're gonna end up with 3 nose jobs or whatever. Like Shekinah.
Sean is like, bro, why do you hate Shekinah so much? And Shekinah tells us that she actually asked Amani a very personal question, and she asked her not to tell anybody, and Amani ended up telling Ani. Now, that doesn't really sound like girl behavior, but oh my God, wait until you hear what the fucking question was.
She asked if Ani was trans.
You're not trustworthy. I literally asked.
My loyalty is to my girlfriend.
Shekinah, girly, what the actual fuck? Oh my God. And Shekinah tries to flip it.
Is your loyalty to hurt her feelings?
You did.
No, because I think trans women are beautiful. You clearly have a problem with trans people. Like, that's messed up.
What? That was an insane choice. A, it's none of your goddamn business. B, it is not important. C, if Ani was trans and she wanted people to know that, she would have let people know that. And then Ani is like, listen, I have zero problem with the trans community, but how dare you tell me that I look trans when you are sitting there with a face so fucked up by science that you're the one who looks trans.
Tell me I am trans.
I didn't tell you you were. I asked her.
Look at you. Change your face. You are the trans. Come on, girl.
And holy shit, Aaliyah is sitting right there, a trans woman, watching these 2 cis women shout about how they love, support, uplift the trans community, while they are hurling the word trans at each other like it is a slur. So yeah, I was rooting for Shekinah, but she 100% lost me by the end of that. That was a series of wild choices and words. Amani is definitely the greater of two evils between her and Shekinah. Like, I have a lot of opinions about her, but this video is neither the time or place for that. I cannot believe that Big Ed was on my screen for any amount of time, and I did not have the urge to vomit in my hands and stick all of it into my ears. He actually had some pretty solid advice. It is not advice that he himself would take if the tables were turned, but whatever. In other news, I love Greg's mom. I think Lucille is an angel. She should be protected at all costs. And that, my Panda Pals, wraps up this Part 1 Tell-All recap. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead, click that subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of this one, okay? Is Joan out of line for saying that she will not use protection while living in Lucille's house? Am I the only one who thinks that it is insane that Shekinah asked Amani if Ani is trans? Do you think Stevi is right for not giving Mahdi a straightforward answer? Let me know all of your thoughts down below, and until next time, thanks for not letting me ride this train wreck alone. Bye!